Proof that Mars once had a thicker atmosphere may have landed, literally, in Opportunity's backyard. Just recently, the rover spied a strange bluish rock, a nickel-iron meteorite, sitting out on the surface. Streaking through a thin atmosphere, this massive chunk of metal should have made a much bigger dent. But a much more dense atmosphere would have slowed its fall and would have melted its exterior in just the way Opportunity now sees it. Now, there are a few competing theories that explain the disappearance of Mars' magnetic field and its atmosphere. What's certain is that at some point early in its history, the red planet grew increasingly desolate, and that the tragedy happened fairly quickly. The Martian landscape we see today is replete with coded signals from those early times: ancient riverbeds and lake bottoms, floodplains, and volcanic cones, as well as the clear battering it received from impacts. But is Mars a dead world? An infrared telescope on Hawaii's Mauna Kea volcano was trained on Mars over several years. Astronomers used a spectrometer to split the light into its individual wavelengths to identify chemical fingerprints in Mars' atmosphere. They found the signature of methane gas in amounts that change from place to place. Methane shouldn't last very long under Mars conditions. There must be some source that replenishes it. That source could be biological, perhaps microbes alive and well somewhere underground. Or the methane could be coming from volcanic activity, or maybe chemical reactions in Mars' crust. So far, neither satellites flying over Mars nor robots on the surface have turned up anything close to clear proof of living organisms. It may take the searching eyes, flexible minds, and nimble fingers of human explorers to find that buried treasure if it exists. In the meantime, we're finding that even if Mars appears dead, it's certainly not dull, though Mars has nowhere near the dynamism of Earth. With our oceans, turbulent atmosphere, volcanism, and shifting continents, Mars does do some fascinating things. If you take an atmosphere, however tenuous, add heat from the sun so it blows over the dry plains, you get the renowned dust devils of Mars. With no trees to hold down the soil, landslides are common. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has returned images showing that Mars is actively remaking its surface. No, not in the canals built by the Martian engineers of Percival Lowell's imagination, but in picturesque sand dunes shaped by the wind, and in intricate landscapes molded by a gradually changing climate. Whether or not we ever find life forms on Mars, we can still marvel at the incredible beauty of its landforms, subtly sculpted over eons of time, on a world that never was.